Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to bring you this DIY Dollar Tree wreath stand. I have been waiting to make one forever. We're going to use some boxed art. This is the hard boxed art, the big size, about 8 by 8. We're going to use one of these Bless Our Home signs. Finally, something we can do that's made out of some sort of heavy duty material. And I'm going to choose to use these hooks, but I'll show you there's options, tons and tons of options. And then I'm going to spray paint mine. I'm actually using the flat black spray paint for this is the 97-cent spray paint from Walmart. And we're going to pre-drill as well as use the screw gun, and we're going to need 2 small screws. Wood screws are the best. Also, we're going to use our glue gun with Gorilla Glue sticks as an option as well. And I'll show you all of the options here in a second. Well, the first thing I wanted to tell you was I'm actually repurposing this. This was a DIY that I have now. The Dollar Tree's come out with some better items that I'm going to repurpose this DIY. But they do sell these box frames. I actually just bought one for this purpose, and then I was gifted some of the wood cutting boards. So I said, oh, I don't need that anymore. I can use this instead. So this is just some boxed art, and because I had contact paper on it, I ripped it off. It bubbled up the paper. So the option is you want to remove the paper, you 100% can. If your paper is a nice smooth tight surface, then go ahead and leave it, and you could just spray paint over it if you want. The other option is you can actually make this wood look by covering it with contact paper as well as the pole. It would look really pretty if it was actually looked like it was made out of wood. I thought that would be really pretty too. Now this is very sturdy as is with the screws, but if you want to skip the option of using your drill bit and your screw gun and just wanted to use some heavy duty wood glue or E6000, you could. However, if you're going to do that, then I highly recommend you remove the paper from the box frame, because otherwise you're just gluing to the paper, and over time the weight of your wreath might pull the paper off of the box, instead of, like the glue will hold, but then the glue will hold to the paper, so it might just peel the paper off over time. But go ahead, I mean, it's only $2 worth of materials. If you don't have a screw gun, or if you're not proficient with a screw gun and you really don't want to do this, you can go ahead and do the rest of the steps just with E6000 or Gorilla Glue to really hold it tight. Most of us don't have very heavy wreaths to begin with, so if that's the case with you, then you go ahead and just skip these steps, okay? I'm peeling off the sticker, having a little trouble. I have Gooby Gone, but I don't want to add it to this wood because it's very porous. And if I put the Gooby Gone in there, the oil will settle into the wood, and then it'll be harder to paint. The reason we want to use the printed side of this is because it actually has 2 sawtooth hangers in it. I'm sorry, keyhole hangers in it, and then we even though your wreath might cover them, you don't want to take the chance of seeing the holes. So you want to go ahead, and I want to go ahead and remove the sticker from the back and the paper from the front. So this is a method that one of you all shared with me. Once you get the shiny layer of paper removed, you could just take a wet rag, lay a wet rag on it, and then I'm taking an old gift card and I'm just scraping away all the paper and all of the glue, and then I just take that wet rag and wipe it. There's no chemicals on that wet rag. It is just warm water, okay? And I'm just doing it in steps. So I've soaking the label, then I'm going back to the box frame, then I'm going back to the red wood, doing the sides of the box frame and such. But I will tell you that if you remove the paper from the box frame, which is fine, it's what I did, then you will have to put a bead of glue in the seams on the inside of the box frame, because it actually is the paper that holds the sides on to the top. The sides are also connected to the posts in the corners, but it's also you'll see if what I'm saying is, if you do remove the paper, you'll see what I'm saying. Basically, they're not connected. The top is not connected to the sides, only in the corners. So this one took a little bit longer. I'm actually using my my knife that I got in the hardware section, my favorite craft utility knife or whatever to cut away the shiny portion of the paper. In hindsight, I probably would have just left this and spray painted over it because it was really adhered on there really, really well. But again, I was afraid we'd come into the same thing with the sticker, the hook being placed onto paper. There is a chance that over time it will peel away. So I didn't want to take that chance and have it come apart on me. Now I know that the sticker, the label, if I had a hairdryer or heat gun, I could totally use that to take the sticker off. I don't. Don't send me one. I don't want one. Thank you very much. I used to have one before the flood. I bought it for embossing, and I used to use it for lots of different things. Peeling off my kitchen floor was one of them. But I'm good to not have one. And the hairdryer that I bought in 1986, I had until 2012, till the flood. So I'm not going to be buying another hairdryer anytime soon. I'll just take a few minutes to peel a sticker. It's okay. So you see I'm doing the same method where I'm soaking and then I'm scraping. The glue on this was pretty powerful, so it took a little extra of just scraping the glue off. I wanted to get a good coat on, I wanted to get a good surface for my spray paint to stick, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure where I want this to stand. Right behind the hanger for the box frame, I'm going to find 2 points to match up on the wood upright and the box frame. So basically, I've gone in about a ½ inch from each side of the piece of wood. I've drawn a line, matched those line points up with the 2 areas on the box frame. I'm using this white chalk pen just for you guys on camera. So you can see there, then I went ahead and I found the middle of the piece of wood to create 2 crosses of where we're going to pre-drill. Now I'm picking a drill bit that is just a little bit narrower than my screw because you want to pre-drill. This is particle board and you don't want it to split on you. So what I'm doing is I'm laying it flat on the table and I'm trying to hold the drill bit parallel to the table, going in at that mark. And you want to make sure you go deep enough but not too deep, because you actually do want your screw to hold on to something. If you make your hole too big, you'll have nothing left for your screw to hold on to. And I will tell you, even I split this wood a little bit because I didn't quite make my screw holes deep enough. But once you have that, you drill the corresponding holes into the box frame and then go ahead and screw the 2 pieces together. Now I wanted to show you that if you want your hook the same color to basically disappear, then go ahead and stick it on before you spray paint. But I was going to stick mine on after because I wanted to show you guys some options with the screws, okay? I mean with the hooks, excuse me. So like I said, this is 97-cent spray paint, and this is a windy day, but it's beautiful. It's got gusts of wind every once in a while. I look like I'm spray painting my hair. It just was a new can, so you got to make sure you shake it for 30 seconds. You want to make sure your conditions for spray painting are perfect. So I showed you there that it was soaked up really well into the edges, not the front and back so much, but the edges of the red. So I went ahead and I gave it a second coat. And now here's how it looks. It looked really good. 2 coats of spray paint was all it needed. And now we're going to glue the hook on. Now, again, this can come off because I tried to get the double sticky foam off of the silver hook and it wouldn't come off. So I went ahead and I just added Gorilla Glue to the sticky pad. And now I'm putting one on the back upside down, which I'll talk about here in a second. But you can do either or both. It's totally up to you. So I know that I do voiceovers, but I wanted to jump on here and show you just a couple of different options. The first thing is to move your coffee out of the way. There's a crazy coincidence that the Jenga blocks, which we call them, or the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, are almost the exact perfect size. They're, as you can see here, or maybe you can't see because of me. Here, I'll use me as the background. As you can see here, they're the same width. Actually, As you can see here, they're the same width just about, and then they're not as deep. So the reason I'm mentioning that is for this. If you wanted to make your wreath holder taller, you could take two, sandwich them together, fill in the space with the Jenga blocks. I will show you that. Two Jenga blocks down here. Sorry, let me show you that. Two Jenga blocks down there. Make it the perfect width and just a tiny bit deeper, as you can see. Can you see that? They're just a tiny bit, they just stick out a tiny bit past the thing. So if you wanted to, you could elevate your second. I would definitely do the first step, get a second one, and elevate it to whatever height you wanted to with Jenga blocks. The Jenga blocks aren't sturdy enough by themselves to just make this tower with Jenga blocks. So I would definitely just use them to elevate a second one of these. And then of course, then you can make it as tall as you want. Now, the other thing I want to tell you really quick is you could embellish it. You can. They sell all of these really pretty wood carving things at like the craft stores. You could put like glue down one of the wooden words and then, you know, paint it differently. Like you could put family down here or welcome. But this is mainly in my home going to be a display for wreaths. Now wanted to show you really quick why we have a hook on the front that's normal and then a hook in the back that's upside down. So the hook on the front that's normal, and of course you pick the hook size that you prefer. So if you had a small hoop, that's what I want to show you. If you have a small hoop, it hangs. This is the 14-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree, which I think is their biggest wreath form. If you do this, you can see there is still clearance on the bottom. So if you had, depending on where you put your hanger, so this is hung on the top of the wreath form. So if you had like a big mesh wreath or something that was full, then definitely you might want to consider that. Now this is if you have one that's bigger, and of course you could put this at any position you want. You can also put multiple down the back if you wanted to, because again, that's going to face the back of your fireplace or the wall or something. Then what you do is you can loop, I think this one is even still too long for this. Hold on, let me see. Actually, that still does work. So you can loop whatever hanger over the back and you still have clearance on the bottom. But of course, that would depend. Stop moving. It does hang straight when you stop moving it. So depending on what you wanted to hang and how high you wanted it to hang it. So if I had just this wreath or just these kinds of hangers and I wanted it to not show the stand on the top, then I could just put another hook down here and you can customize it to be for your needs, obviously. IKEA does sell a really cool strip of adjustable plastic, and what I mean is it's just strip and it has like a hook every a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch away, so that's it's so like when you were hanging a picture you can make it adjustable. So that's a really cool feature to have too, or thing to have on there too. But you can see it's very sturdy. It does wobble because it's tall, but unless it's made out of metal it's gonna wobble. But it's very sturdy, and I'm excited that I finally have one since I lost mine in my flood. So there you go. Thanks. So before I wrap this up, everybody, I also wanted to tell you that I'm going to display this on my black bookshelf. That's why I didn't spray paint it white. But I wanted to encourage you to spray paint it or color it, whatever will blend into your walls, okay? So that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, anybody you know might be interested in learning how to make this. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!